Now let's look into the solution of each case. So first case, second case, third case, it is given that capital N is equal to 10, speed of the commutator is 5000 rotations per second, small n is 8 bits per sample. Okay, so in the first case we have 5 extra bits for each frame, that is why the value of A will become 5. You put the value of small n and capital N and fs is equal to 5000, you will get the bit rate equal to 425 kilobits per second. Now for the second case, you will not have any synchronization bit. It is only said that one extra bit is used each frame. So each frame each sample. So each sample we are using 8 bits. Instead of 8, we will use one extra bit, that is 8 plus 1, that is 9 bits per sample. And there is no synchronization bit for this case. So we will plug the values. N equal to 10, small n dash is equal to 9, f speed is equal to 5000, we will get 450 kilobits per second bit rate. Now for the third case, the value of n is same as 8 bits per sample, capital N is 10, f speed is 5000, but the value of small a will be 10% of the original binary sequence. How many, the number of bits which were in binary sequence, original binary sequence, that was capital N into small n. So 10% of this, and capital N into small n is 80, 8 into 10, so this comes out to be 8, that's why this value is 8. Capital N is 10, small n is 8, 5000, you will get 440 kilobits per second, your bits per bit rate. So the answer for the first case is 425 kbps, second case 450 kbps, and third case 440. So let's take another example. Here it is given that 24 voice signals are sampled uniformly and then time division multiplexed. The highest frequency component of each voice signal is 3.4 kHz. Calculate the space between successive samples of the multiplexed signal. Okay, so we have to calculate the time difference between the two samples in multiplexed signal. So solution, we will say it is given that capital N is equal to 24, this FM is your 3.4 kilohertz, which means your Nyquist rate is equal to 2 into FM, that is 6800 samples per second, and this Nyquist rate is also equal to the speed of the commutator. So your frame time can be calculated is equal to 1 by f speed, that is 1 by 6800, that comes out to be 147 microseconds. Now here I have represented pictorially the whole frame is 147 microsecond time. The time frame of time of the frame is 147 microseconds. Now you have 24 voice signals, so that's why I have divided the time frame with 24, that comes out to be 6.125 microseconds, and that is the time separation between two samples. So between 1 and 2 there will be a time gap of 6.125 microsecond, between 2 and 3 there will be a time gap of 6.25 microsecond, likewise it goes till 24. Okay, so this is one frame. Now next frame will come, then again second frame will come, likewise it goes on and on. Okay, so this is the example where you can see the use of f speed and time frame. Okay, so now we will move on. Okay, so we will move on to the next part of time division multiplexing. So till now we were having the message signals whose they are band limited to the same frequencies. Okay, now what we gonna study is when the message signals are band limited to different frequencies. Okay, so I'll explain the scenario. So previously what we used to have, all these message signals were band limited to FM, and that is why our Nyquist rate was 2 FM 2 FM, 2 FM, since all of them were sampled at same Nyquist rate, that is why our speed of commutator was equal to Nyquist rate. Now what I mean by band limited, by the way, is some signal will be there in time domain at m1t, its Fourier transform will be there. It will look something like this, let's say. So this is your FM, this is the positive frequency I am referring here as band limited to. Whatever is in the positive side, positive frequency of the Fourier transform of message signal, that is what I mean by band limited. So this was for m1t. Similarly for m2t, m3t, the shape can be anything, but they will be band limited to 0 to FM. Okay, so this was the previous scenario. So we used to had 2 FM, which was our Nyquist rate, as the speed of the commutator. So now what will happen, since the message signals were having same, they were band limited to same frequency, FM, FM, FM. Now all the messages will be band limited to different frequencies. Means m1t will be band limited to FM1, m2t will be band limited to FM2, m3t will be band limited to FM3. So what will happen now, since all three of them are having different, they are limited to different frequency, Nyquist rate will be look like this. So 2 into FM1, the Nyquist rate for M1, 2 into FM2 will be Nyquist rate of M2, 2 into FM3, the Nyquist rate of M3. Now this Fs, the speed of the commutator, will not be equal to the Nyquist rate now, because all three of them are having different Nyquist rate. So what will be the speed of the commutator in this case? We will look into the this part of the problem, and that will be what will be the speed of the commutator in this case, and that is the main objective of this topic. Okay, so it turns out there are two ways to solve this problem, and we'll look next. Okay, now it turns out that to solve this problem we have two types. In two way you can solve the problem. The first way is you set the speed of commutator equal to the Nyquist rate of the highest frequency. Okay, so you can see I will explain you through an example. So here you are having two message signals. One is band limited to 1 kilohertz and second is band limited to 2 kilohertz. So you can see they don't have same frequency. One is 1 kilohertz, second is 2 kilohertz. So they are band limited to different frequencies. So the Nyquist rate will be given for this guy is 2 kilohertz and for this guy it is 4 kilohertz. So since 4 kilohertz is greater than 2 kilohertz, you set the commutator speed, that is F speed is equal to 4k. And now what will happen to this guy? This will be also sampled at 4k. Why there is no issues? Because you need 2 kilohertz, that is the Nyquist rate or sampling frequency you need equal to or greater than 2 kilohertz to sample this message signal according to the sampling theorem. Fs, the sampling frequency should be greater than equal to 2 FM. For this guy it should be greater than equal to 2 kilohertz and you are sampling at 4 kilohertz, so it will not be an issue for this signal. Okay, so that is why we are setting the speed of commutator to the highest frequency, highest Nyquist rate of highest frequency. So this is highest frequency, Nyquist rate is higher for message 2. This is your M2 of t, this is your M1 of t. Okay, so that is why you set the speed of the commutator equal to this guy, and since this is this requires 2 kilohertz of sampling frequency, so greater than 2 kilohertz if you sample this message signal, it will work out. Okay, so at the total here whatever the signal will get generated, it will have 8000 samples per second, 4000 from this guy, 4000 from this guy. Okay, and your commutator speed will be set to 4 kilohertz. Okay, and you can calculate the frame time as well from here, but we don't require right now. Okay, so that's what it is. We have to make the sample the Nyquist rate equal for both these two guys, because your commutator can only rotate with one particular frequency. It will not be able to rotate according to this guy at 4 kilohertz and according to this guy 2 kilohertz. It has to be made equal in both the places, so that your commutator will run at one frequency. So we kept 4K, and we gave the justification that this message M1T requires more than 2 kilohertz or equal to 2 kilohertz sampling frequency. We are providing 4K, so it's fine according to sampling theorem. And this guy is already getting sampled as 4K, so that is why our speed of the commutator is 4K, and whatever comes out here has the samples, 8000 samples per second, 4000 from here, 4000 from here. So if I will have n is equal to 10 bits per sample, then your bit rate can be calculated as small n into capital into f speed. F speed is your 4000, so capital N is 2 and small n is 10, so 80 kilobits per second will be a bit rate. Okay, so now we'll move on to the second way of solving this. Okay, so let's look at the second solution. So here, instead of setting the speed of commutator to the highest frequency Nyquist rate to, you are setting the speed of commutator to equal to Nyquist rate of lowest frequency. So we have the same example. Your message 1 is band limited to 1 kilohertz, so, and your message 2 is band limited to 2 kilohertz. So Nyquist rate will be here 2 kilohertz, here 4 kilohertz. Now among these two, you will have lowest frequency, Nyquist rate of lowest frequency is 2 kilohertz. This is your lowest frequency among these two, and the Nyquist rate is 2 kilohertz of the lowest frequency. So your speed of commutator has to be set to these 2 kilohertz. Okay, so it will take 2000 samples per second. Okay, so now what will happen to this guy? So since this need 2 kilohertz, the commutator speed is going on 2 kilohertz, so it will divide into two parts. So instead of having going through one branch, it will go through two branch. So this guy will be sampled at 2K. So out of 4K, 2K will be sampled once and 2K will be sampled again. Okay, so this message 2 signal M2 will be sampled 2 times and M1 will be sampled 1 time. Okay, that is how you approach when you set the speed of commutator to equal to the Nyquist rate of lowest frequency. So your F speed is 2 kilohertz equal to this guy, and if 4 kilohertz you are using it as 2 kilohertz and 2 kilohertz. So total at the output you will get 6000 samples per second, 2 from this, 2 from this, 2 from this. Okay, now if you have n equal to n, then your bit rate will come out to be small n into capital N into f speed. F speed is 2000, small n is 10. Now capital N will have 3. Okay, since there are 3 signals sampled. Okay, so that will come out to be 60 kilobits per second. Okay, now we will compare the two cases, when the speed of commutator is set to highest frequency, then when the speed of commutator is set to the Nyquist rate of lowest frequency. So in the first case we saw RB was coming out to be 80 kilobits per second, and in the second case you had 60 kilobits per second. Okay, so you can see we have seen that our bit rate is directly proportional to the channel bandwidth. The more the bit rate will be, the more channel rate will be. So for this first case, channel bandwidth, this guy will require more channel bandwidth than this guy. Okay, and we want to save our channel bandwidth. That is why we always prefer case 2. Means, to summarize, whenever you have the message signals band limited to different frequencies, you set the speed of commutator to the Nyquist rate of lowest frequency. Okay, and that's when you will get minimum channel bandwidth. Okay, let's see an example. See, you have 4 signals. 2 are band limited to 4 kHz and rest 2 are band limited to 8 kHz. So their sampling frequency will be 8 kHz, 8 kHz, 16 kHz, 16 kHz. So just now we saw case 2 we prefer usually because it requires less channel bandwidth. So the less will be 8 kHz. So the speed of the commutator has to be set to 8 kHz. Now these guys are having sampling frequency 16 kHz, which can be sampled 2 times. So you can see here I have made 2 lines. So this will be sampled 8 kHz, this line will be sampled 8 kHz, 8 kHz, 8 kHz, 8 kHz, 8 kHz. So that's how you cover these 2 signals, and they are already sampled at their Nyquist rate. So if you have small n value is equal to 8, then your bit rate will come out to be small n into capital N into Fs. Small n is 8, capital N is 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and your F speed is 8000. So comes out to be 384 kbps. Okay, now we'll look at the next example. Let's look up to the second example. You can see there are 2 messages. First is band limited to 2 kHz, second is band limited to 3 kHz. So their Nyquist rate will be 4 kHz and 6 kHz. Out of these 2, this is the least one. We will prefer case 2. So 4K, the speed of the commutator has to be set to 4 kHz. So this guy is fine. It will take as 4K, sampled at 4K. But this is 6 kHz. So what will happen? 4K will sampled through this line, and rest of the 2K samples you will again take 4K. Okay, so it will not have any problem because you are sampling at the rate greater than 2 FM. Okay, it requires 2K and you are sampling at 4K, so it is following the sampling theorem. That is why there is one line and 4K samples. Okay, so total, so the speed of the commutator is 4K and there will be 3 signals, and here for the 2K samples you are oversampling. Okay, means Fs is not equal to 2 FM, Fs is greater than 2 FM for this guy. For this guy Fs is equal to 2 FM. Okay, 2 FM, and for this guy greater than 2 FM. Okay, where FM is 2 kHz. So if you have a small n value is equal to 10 bits per sample, you will have bit rate equal to small n into capital N into F speed. Your F speed is 4K, small n is 10, capital N is 3, so 120 kilobits per second. This will be the bit rate for this case. So I hope you got the clear picture of how you do time division multiplexing in the case of message signals band limited to different frequencies. Okay. Now there is one note point I want to mention here. So sometimes what happens for some applications, you directly send or you directly transmit the output of the sampler without encoding. Okay, in these kind of cases you have something like this scenario. Okay, so let's say you have 4 message signals, each of them are band limited to W, W, 2W and 3W. So message 1 and 2 are band limited to W, message 3 is band limited to 2W, and message 4 is band limited to 3W. Okay, so their Nyquist rate will be 2W, 2W, 4W, 6W. So total at the output of the commutator you will have 14W samples per second. 2W, if you set the commutator speed with the lowest one, 2W, 2W, and this 4W will taken 2 times, and this 6W will be taken 3 times. So there will be total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 number of, and capital N will be 7. Okay, so but we are not interested in bit rate, so we don't have focus on this. We just calculate how many samples per second it will come out from the commutator. So 2 plus 2, 6 plus 4, or total 14W. 6 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2. So 14W samples per second will come out, and without encoding you send this to from the transmitter. Okay, so in that case what will happen, your channel bandwidth will be greater than equal to whatever samples per second you are sending divided by 2. So 7W hertz will be the minimum channel bandwidth required, or greater than 7W you can have. Okay, so in general, if you have k samples per second, you will require channel bandwidth of greater than equal to k by 2 hertz. Okay, so minimum channel bandwidth will be k by 2 equal to k by 2 hertz. So this is the point I wanted to mention. Okay, I don't have the proof of this, I don't have the reason, but I thought let's include, because maybe you might be knowing, or you can you will see somewhere the proof of this. I don't know, I just have this point in my copy, so I thought let's include this. So do look up to the reason of this. I don't have now, so, and I gave the example. So whenever you face this kind of scenario where you directly send the sampler output without encoding, and somebody is asking you how much channel bandwidth will be required, just take the output of the commutator and whatever samples per second, and divide it by 2. That will be the minimum channel bandwidth required, and you can have channel bandwidth more than this as well, but you will obviously go for the minimum one, that is equal to 7W or equal to k by 2. So okay, that is in the case of no encoding. So please, if you have some other material where you can go for the proof of this, then it's good. I don't know it, I just wanted to mention. Okay, maybe it will be useful to you somewhere.